Hello everyone, welcome back to the Budgeting Bully. I'm Ebony. So as you can see from my title, I'm kind of taking you inside of my Google worksheet to show you how I budget. So just a note, these are all sample numbers. These are not my actual numbers. Although, obviously I used my numbers to kind of base it off of this. So I know this mortgage is really low, but my mortgage is actually really low. My mortgage is actually lower than this. So these numbers will differ depending on the part of the country you live in, how much rent, mortgage you pay, whatever. You get the idea. And I am going to leave a link for this down in the description so you can set this up for yourself. And this is targeted for monthly people that are paid monthly, because I am, and I don't see a lot of people talking about budgeting for monthly pay. So this is exactly what I use for my monthly paycheck. So the first thing I do is I go here, I talk about my monthly take-home income. If I earned any extra income during the month, I put it here. I have this cell set up so that those two are added together. So I know for the purpose of this exercise, this is the money that I'm taking home in January. Next thing I do is I list out all my set bills. So for me, that's mortgage, gas, internet, gym, cell phone, car insurance. I put 2 credit cards here. The Care credit card, which is something that I do have, which currently has a 0 balance on it. Hulu, which is what I use to stream a television service. Student loan, electric, and water. Now there may be additional bills that you have in. You can just add those in here. Next thing I do is list the due dates for all of them. And then, now mind you, I just want to note that I do this in December of each year. So we're saying right now that I'm filling this out in December. These are the expenses that I planned for December. This is how much I plan to spend in each category, and that's based on the average amount that I spent from the prior year. So these numbers here will be based on how much I spent in 2022. And then here is where I list the actual amounts, because during the month of December, the bills for January come in and they let me know how much they're going to be. So, my goal is always to have these bills end up cheaper than what I planned. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It kind of depends on the month. So then you can see down here that this number is the total amount of my bills. And then this is the total of my bills subtracted from my total income. So then I come down here and I list any other expenses. For me, I consider these things expenses. You can title it however you want. But my vacation fund is an expense. So I have that come out automatically out of my paycheck. It goes into a separate account. Same with my emergency fund, and then my savings account. And then we also have a quarterly trash bill. We only pay this 3 times a year. So I only add this in, we pay it quarterly. So we pay it every 3 months, not 3 times a year. So I add that in January, then in April, then again in July, then in October, or however your bill falls. So now you can see this is the total amount of my expenses. This is what I have left over. Now I take this number and I carry it over to my sinking funds, and you can see I have carryover here. So these two numbers will always match. This number here will always equal this number here. Then I start to list the things that I do cash stuffings with. So first is my variable expenses, and my variable expenses are what I put in my cash wallet. So gas, $200 a month. And again, this is average for me, or whatever the average is for you. Groceries, hair and skincare, doggy care, miscellaneous spending. Now, we don't have children, so I don't put anything about children in there, but I'm sure that's something that you would put in yours if you do have kids. And then that total. So then I come down to my sinking funds. My sinking funds is the carryover money minus my variable expenses. So that's what this number is. So all of these numbers may change depending on what your priorities are for that month. Here I also list goal per envelope. That's something that is, up to you if it's something that's important to you. But it's what helps me decide how much I'm going to stuff in each envelope. So then I list my sinking funds. And these are actually my actual sinking funds. So again, change it to match you. So I have home, doggies, and this is a long-term sinking fund for my dog. I have the things that I spend per week, but then I have the things that I'm actually saving for. And month ahead, Christmas, holiday dinners, clothing, gifts, car care, subscriptions, godchildren, medical, student loans, fun, gift myself, and home decor. And gift myself is just what it is, when I decided that I need a gift. So we're going to punch in a bunch of dummy numbers here just so I can describe to you exactly. So I'm going to put, I don't know, 10 in here. Car care, I'll put 15. Subscriptions, I'll put 50. Godchildren, let's give them 25. Medical is 10. And then 10, 10. Let's do 10 for everything else, all right? So my total for sinking funds is $600. That's how much I'm stuffing in this envelope. Then I have an area for savings challenges. So whatever is left over after I've stuffed all of my envelopes, that's what I use for savings challenges. I very rarely have a set amount that I want to use, but it's up to you again. If you know that you want $300, then you go and you adjust these numbers so that this equals $300. So after I've done all of that, then I come back up to the top and I do my cash breakdown. So let's say for gas, I want 250s and 100. For groceries, I want $200 bills, two $50 bills, and then 5 20s. Is that right? 100, 200. Wait, that's 100, 200, 300, 400. Yeah, okay, that's right. I had to make sure. For hair and skincare, I want a 50 and a 1. Doggy care, give me 2 50s. And the miscellaneous spending also give me 2 50s. Now, the reason I would split it up like that is because most of these categories I stuff bi-weekly. So even though I'll take the money out at one time, I'll set the rest of the money to the side and then I'll go and get it. Now for my sinking funds, I want big bills because I don't want my envelopes to be that big. So let's do that. A 50, a 50, a 50, a 50, a 50, a 10. Did I say car care was getting 115? Okay. I don't even know how I did that. 115. Subscriptions, I want a 50. Godchildren, I want a 20 and a 5. And then the rest are 10s. And 10s. And then I come down to my sinking funds. Pause. Okay, I'm back. We had a slight interruption. Someone walked in the room. So then next is savings challenges, and I break this money I break it up depending on how I'm going to do my savings challenges, but for argument's sake, I'm just going to put anything. So let's see, 150, 2 50s, 100, that's 200. Actually, we'll do 3 50s. So that's 250, and then we'll do a 10, make 260, a 1, and a 5 and a 1. Wait, something isn't right because this number, why are these numbers not calculating? Oh, hold on, y'all. I think I shifted some of it, so I need to add up the sums. There we go. There it is. Okay. And let's do the hundreds too. I think I must have added in an extra row, so it kind of messed up my formula. Let's see. There we go. Now you can see 1,816, 1,816, 1,816. Those numbers should always match. So now I have my cash breakdown. I can fill out my envelope. Not my envelope. I can fill out my cash breakdown sheet for the teller based on these numbers right here and give it to her and come back and stuff my envelopes. Now, after that, what I do after I stuffed all of my envelopes, I come over to this spreadsheet and I just update all of my sinking funds. So I have what my goal is, what I had last month, and what I have this month. And then down here, the totals tell me this is my ultimate goal, this is where I'm at in January. This is where I was at in February. So I can see that I'm improving. Now, if the numbers go down, which tends to happen, especially for me, like in a category of the dog, my dog has to get quarterly scans, so his number will go up and down all throughout the year, but that's fine as long as I eventually make it to this goal of him having $2,500 in the bank. And last but not least is the debt update. Again, these are just sample numbers. So each month I come on here. Well, actually, hold on. Let me just describe it first. So I put on here what the debt is. Then I put the statement closing date. And I like to have the statement closing date because I know that if I make 2 payments before the statement closing date, then that's less interest. So then I put in the interest rate, and then the actual due date, and then the total amount owed. So the total amount owed, I only put this in December because I want to be able to track my progress throughout the year. And then I add up all of my debt throughout the year. Actually, I'm sorry. I do the monthly minimum. So this is how much I know that I'm supposed to pay towards debt each month, $425. And then I go in each month and I update after I've made the payment. I do an update of the amount owed, and again, that's so I can track my progress throughout the year. If at any time I see this increasing, then I know that I'm doing something wrong and I need to either increase the monthly minimum, or I need to take one of those cards and hide it from myself, because that means that I've been using it way too much. So that's all I have for today. I hope this is helpful for someone. This is what really has kept me on task. Even before I started cash budgeting, I used just this one budget sheet because it always gave me an idea, let me know where I'm at. You know, as I've received raises and increases, if I earned any extra money, I'm able to track it here and get a good idea of where my money is going. But I will say, since I started cash stuffing, I feel like I have more control over this extra money, this carryover money. Now that I have given each dollar an assignment, I definitely feel that I'm saving a lot more money. So this is what works for me. If this is helpful for you, hopefully it works for you. Let me know in the comments if you saw anything that you felt I can improve on. I'm always up for any type of suggestions. Make sure you click at the link at the end and watch my last video, and I will see you in the next one.